Hello, One Piece enthusiasts. I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about Kaido's lost potential. So, Wano, effectively, in the next chapter, will be over because I've seen a little bit of spoilers. But the fact is, Kaido's arc is over. We've seen everything we have to see of Kaido. I'm not gonna talk about Big Mom because she's a bigger failure than Kaido, in my eyes at least. But I want to talk about Kaido because I had high expectations for him. Not that I didn't have high expectations for Big Mom, but the way Kaido was built up ever since, ever since his introduction of when he fell from the Sky Island, and, uh, and well, we all had anticipations of where his motivations come from, where what does he want, what is his goal, and yada yada. So, with all that being said, when Wano started and we see Kaido breaking wills left and right, trying to basically break everyone's will and make strong individual captain level pirates, taking them into his group and basically making them, second graded troops or, not even lead guards. So, all that seemed a lot interesting. And especially with Kaido's backstory. Kaido's backstory has been held off until the end of the fight, which it usually happens for most of Luffy's major opponents. But this, however, didn't last too long and it wasn't as impactful. Everyone says the Crocodile and Doflamingo are better villains than Kaido. I can't disagree on that. I didn't want to agree on this. Ever since we got into Wano and we've seen everything, and people have been theorizing, hey, Kaido has this level of motivation. This is what he wants to do. These are the potential. He knows about Joy Boy. He was in Rock's crew, and that could mean a lot for Kaido's character. So I wanted to believe, I was in that same train of thought, and I wanted to believe that, hey, yeah, Kaido will turn out to be a better villain than Doflamingo or Crocodile. I really wanted Kaido to be the top of the top, but by the end of it, it all went downhill. So what am I talking about specifically? Let's start off with Kaido's backstory. When you hear Kaido was a member of one of the greatest pirate groups that ever lived, that took Garp, Roger combined, maybe even Whitebeard, being neutral or such a strong side, considered to be the you know, most threatening pirate group in the history of One Piece, it goes to show that Kaido was in a very good group and they were strong. They knew stuff, and Rocks was very influential. He was very powerful. You expected Kaido's motivation to come from something like that. Well, yes, it was something like that. So when he was always talking about it all started that hitting me in the head when Kaido said, "You're not Joy Boy either." When Luffy lost his second round with Kaido, first round in Onigashima, he said, "You're not Joy Boy either." And that made me realize that, hey, Kaido knows a lot more than we think he does. And, well, what's the deal with it? Why is he so interested in Joy Boy? So we all theorized that from that point on, we already knew that Luffy was going to be Joy Boy because it was foreshadowed all over One Piece, all over arcs in One Piece. Oda's basically hammered it inside our heads that if there was a figure called Joy Boy 800 years ago, and Luffy is basically some way, shape, or form related to him. Whether you say it's the will of D, or whether it be freedom, or fighting against the world government, saving everyone from tyranny and whatnot. Luffy was always going to be Joy Boy. I don't care how many people agree, disagree. I knew he was going to be Joy Boy. So, which meant that, okay, if Luffy is Joy Boy and Kaido wants to see Joy Boy, what does that mean? That probably means because he wants to basically, break everyone's will so that Joy Boy emerges from that breaking of will and becomes someone strong, becomes someone who can overcome that breaking of will that will take over Kaido. Nux Taku made a very good video on it. No one understands Kaido. That video was very well made. I loved it. And my inspiration, I was supposed to make a video similar to that, but it never happened. And I don't want to steal Nux's video, so here I am. With everything said and done, he theorized that Kaido's been waiting for Joy Boy because he's been trying to break everyone's will, trying to see who Joy Boy is, so that once Joy Boy comes into fruition, he has to fight him, and ultimately he will be defeated by Joy Boy, and that makes his death special. All the more reason why he wanted to die so badly, and why he wanted to be like Odin, he wanted to have a heroic death. And contrary to everyone's belief, he didn't have a heroic death. He didn't have an impactful death. Rather, his death was very morally unsatisfying from a story perspective. That makes sense for Kaido's character, but as for the type of person we wanted him to be, he really wasn't that. And this was all theorized, whatever, whatnot. Yes, to a certain extent, Kaido did agree. I mean, Oda did make us see that, Kaido was waiting for Joy Boy, and whoever would be beating Kaido would be Joy Boy. Okay, that's it. But that's only a fraction of what we theorized, and that was only a fraction of what the greatness of Kaido we thought it would be. And the end result? We see that he wanted to create chaos alongside dying. He wanted to create chaos, he wanted to create the biggest war in One Piece, biggest war in the world, and create chaos, start fighting between everyone, and all this and all shenanigans that tyrants want. So point still remains that, okay, I understand Kaido wants to die because he wanted a heroic death like Odin, and whoever would be beating him would be Joy Boy. So if that person is Joy Boy, he would have a meaningful death. That didn't happen. His other motivation was basically turning the world into chaos. Why is that? Where is his motivation coming from? Ever since, yes, we did see as a kid that, everyone's been betraying him, everyone's selling him off, and he basically couldn't even stay in his homeland. He finally joined Rox. Rox was defeated, and he got to find his own thing, and he ended up in Wano because he knew there was something special about Wano. But point is, where did this motivation come from? Where did this motivation of I want to create chaos, or I want to create the biggest war in the world, come from? Where did it stem from that made him into such a big tyrant that where he basically enslaved everyone in Wano? I don't see the point in that. I really do not see a point in that. There was something special about Wano. It was maybe Pluton. He knew about Pluton. Big Mom didn't know about it, Kaido definitely knew about it, and yes, he read the poneglyph. How, we have no idea, but he basically knew Pluton was in Wano, and that's why he's been safeguarding it. For some sort of a mass destruction. So, what am I trying to say? We wanted a deeper motivation behind his character. We wanted a character that had a very impactful backstory that made him justify all the reasons why he did everything. So for Doflamingo, specifically Doflamingo, because Crocodile had intentions, obviously, but it wasn't that in depth. It wasn't as clarifying as Doflamingo's were. Doflamingo, in my opinion, had one of the best backstories for any villain in One Piece, and the reasons he did whatever he did made more sense. We knew why he wanted to be a villain, we knew why he wanted to do such things, and well, for Kaido it wasn't that. We never got proper motivations for his actions, we never got a good resolve for Kaido's character. I mean, no, I didn't expect Kaido to befriend Luffy because he's Joy Boy and then save him from admirals, or save him from marines. I didn't expect that, but what I did expect was, his admiration for Luffy, or a deeper, coming to some sort of a resolution or clarification as for his character. That never happened. Oda basically killed off Kaido in this arc. I'm not expecting him to come back. I don't think anyone will be. Yes, it's not confirmed, it is true. Oda did not confirm it, which means there's a likelihood that he might come back some point in the story, but it seems unlikely. And if Oda's gonna kill someone, he's not gonna bring him back. That's not Oda. So Kaido's arc is definitively over. We will get no more of him. Maybe we'll see incidents of God Valley and more of Roxas' history from Blackbeard or Garp or Sengoku, but from Kaido's perspective, what he saw in the crew and how it basically shaped his life, I really wanted that. I really wanted to see the core of his motivation, but that never really happened. And ultimately, he tried to have an impactful death, ended up being one of the most letdowns in One Piece history. His defeat was one of the biggest letdowns in One Piece history, and I think Oda did that intentionally. I'm not blaming Oda for Kaido's defeat, the way Kaido was defeated. I don't blame him. It was very unimpactful. No one witnessed it. No one really cares. No one gets to see it. The world only knows that Kaido was defeated, and that is it. So, from a from a story perspective, from a character perspective, makes a lot of sense. But I really wanted to see a little bit more of his motivations. I wanted some sort of a clarification for his character. We didn't get that. I really expected him to be one of the greatest, but ended up being one of the worst. Maybe not one of the worst, but not the best, at least. Mediocre, very mediocre in terms of villain. I really hope Oda doesn't do this with Blackbeard or Im-sama or even Akainu. So, this is it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, if you guys agree, disagree, make sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.